So the million-dollar question is this: does this movie kill it? Well, if we're thinking literally, there is a lot of death in this film, so by that logic, yes. But I don't know, guys. This one's gonna be tricky. Guys, my name is Zack, and I love discussing all things cinema and entertainment, and I'm so appreciative that you guys clicked on the thumbnail today. I really hope you enjoy your stay, because it's that time. We're looking at Halloween Kills. So in this confusing timeline, this is movie number 3 after the original 1978 classic and the 2018 Halloween, which honestly, I found a little bit enjoyable. Not gonna lie, I have vivid memories going to see it in theaters and having a really killer time with it, but I am still bothered that the 2018 film totally retconned the underrated Halloween 2 to continue on this story, and Halloween Kills is the next installment in said story. Now this once again stars Jamie Lee Curtis as the oh-so-badass Laurie Strode, along with the ever-so-frightening Michael Myers. And the nightmare isn't over yet, as unstoppable fiendish killer Michael Myers escapes from Laurie Strode's trap, all to continue his ritualistic bloodbath. And Laurie is injured and taken to the hospital after the events of the previous film, and she fights through the pain as she inspires residents of Haddonfield, Illinois to rise up against Myers. And taking matters into their own hands, the Strode women and other survivors form a vigilante mob to hunt down Michael and end his reign of terror once and for all. So let me just set the record straight that even though I don't really appreciate that the 2018 Halloween retconned Halloween 2, I found it very enjoyable. I remember going to the theater to watch it with my dad, and we both had a really good time with it. But I've noticed that that 2018 film is super polarizing for a multitude of reasons, because a lot of people don't necessarily watch the Halloween films for the lore of the character of Michael Myers, a man who in 1978 wore a generic William Shatner mask to save face and save budget for John Carpenter. People don't even watch the Halloween films for more Laurie Strode. I for one really appreciate this character development. Jamie Lee Curtis was actually my favorite aspect of that 2018 film, even though yes, it is very similar to what Sarah Connor was doing to try and get rid of the Terminator. And she did it again, guys. Jamie Lee Curtis was absolutely phenomenal in this film. She is in pure anguish from start to finish. But if that's something regarding the 2018 film that you all enjoyed, the evolution of Laurie Strode into this total badass, if you enjoyed that aspect like I did, you're gonna wind up extremely disappointed with Halloween Kills, because her character has been completely sidelined in this installment. This somewhat makes sense, considering she was mortally wounded at the end of the last film, so she's pretty much holed up in a hospital for pretty much this entire picture. Although it was something I was sort of expecting, considering what she went through in the previous installment. Doesn't mean I have to like it, guys. I really wanted more of Jamie Lee Curtis. But you know what, guys? A lot of people watch these Halloween movies for different reasons, and that's the case with any big franchise like this one. Say you're going to a theater to watch a Harry Potter film, for example. Not a whole lot of people are going to watch the story, believe it or not, even though it's very, very interesting. But there are just some people who will only go to a Harry Potter film to see the magical war that David Yates made so euphoric, starting with Order of the Phoenix. Similarly, I've tended to notice that most folks who I know personally who really dig the Halloween films, they mainly want to go and see them to see Michael Myers mow people down. And if you guys enjoy the action and horrific element of the Halloween movies, I think you're really going to have a fun time with Halloween Kills. You will definitely get plenty of gore over this hour and 45-minute runtime. Michael Myers is taking no prisoners. He's plucking people's eyeballs out. He's weed hacking his way through firefighters. He's using goddamn buzzsaws, and it's fucking brutal. That part of Halloween Kills is a hell of a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, this title is not misleading by any stretch of the imagination. This right here is an October bloodbath if you ever saw one. This direction by David Gordon Green is very reminiscent of the 1978 film, with the same type of musical score, which has been slightly modernized in some scenes. He almost helms it as if John Carpenter would have helmed the camera. There are certain flashback sequences that I thought were put together marvelously, and it's all directed and helmed filmed as if it were back in 1978. And I, for one, think the production design team deserves massive amounts of credit for their work on this. And one thing I really gotta respect about this film is their approach to this whole concept of the monstrous Michael Myers being enough to create an even bigger monster. That being the mob of Haddonfield, Illinois residents. That's a really ballsy move for a Halloween film, and I honestly really admire that approach. The execution of it just left a lot to be desired. Now, I already mentioned that Laurie Strode takes a back seat herself, which in itself is a huge problem with Halloween Kills. But even more damning is the fact that this movie really does feel uneventful. There really is no finality to the situation of this movie, and predictably, without spoiling anything, this movie does end on a cliffhanger, which has the purpose of immediately making you want to pop in the next Blu-ray or just click next up on Peacock. And that's when inevitably all three of this new trilogy end up on that platform. I, for one, may be in the minority when I say this, but I had a good amount of fun watching this installment because it's definitely one of the bloodiest in the franchise. The title of this film, Halloween Kills, they're not kidding. But as the middle entry in a trilogy, there is a looming dark cloud of story deficiencies here. It definitely feels like it was a rushed project in a lot of ways, and it feels almost unfinished. And that's because, again, this story is not finished. We're gonna get a sequel to this. The ending of the film will really scream sequel, because it's basically telling you guys, stay tuned for next year to see how this all wraps up. With all that in mind, I'm gonna give Halloween Kills a C+. That's all I really have to say about that. Now, at this point in the review, this is the time where I usually recommend whether or not you should watch this film. If I had to pick or rank these movies right now, obviously this doesn't hold a candle to the original 1978. Based on a first watch, I also think I prefer the 2018 film over this. But guys, let's face it, despite anything and everything I may have said throughout the duration of this review, if you're a hardcore fan of the Halloween franchise, you're gonna watch it anyway. This is all just my opinion, of course. What did you guys think of Halloween Kills? Do you agree with me? Do you not? Also, feel free to sound off with all of your thoughts down in the comments section below. Go ahead and make as much noise as you so desire. Let me know what your favorite Halloween film is up to this point. Is it the original classic? Did an underrated entry like Halloween 2 sneak up to the top of your list? Chances are it's probably not whatever Rob Zombie tried to do in 2007. But as you guys know, I love discussing all of these topics in cinema and entertainment along with you guys, so sounding off in the comments really makes my day. It really allows me to have a further discussion with you guys, which is tons of fun. If these are topics you want to keep up to date with me on, then do consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. This channel is on the road to 1,000. It'd be really beneficial if you helped that number along. It really helps get this content out there to more people. It's also totally free to you guys. Also, what really helps out this content is hitting that thumbs up button on your way out. And as always, guys, stay tuned for more exciting content hitting this channel very soon. Look out for my review for Ridley Scott's The Last Duel, also hitting theaters this weekend. And of course, I will keep chugging along in the Halloween playlist. Next up is gonna be Wreck, which was actually recommended to me, no pun intended, of course, by my buddy Let's Be Real with Brad here on YouTube. So definitely stay tuned for that. Y'all are awesome. I mean, seriously, the support means a ton. With all that being said, back talk, commence.